Hacker doesn't have to mean criminal. Sometimes it means locksmith, and sometimes it means burglar. Let's unravel who's who and why it matters. When you hear hacker, what pops into your head? A hoodie, green text, and stolen passwords. That image sells drama, but it hides the real story. Hacking today is a skill set, probing systems, reverse engineering devices, and thinking like an attacker or a defender. The ethical line isn't in the code. It's in the choices people make. To understand those choices, start with 3 simple questions, and that's where this guide begins. Hacking has evolved from breaking things to understanding how they work. Engineers hack to fix and to improve. Attackers hack to steal, disrupt, or profit. But ethics flips the script. It asks why you did it, who signed off, and who gets hurt. Those 3 ideas, intent, consent, and impact, become your moral compass. Keep them in mind as we zoom into examples that show how the same skill can help or harm. First pillar, intent. Did you act to help, learn, or harm? Second, consent. Did the owner give permission? Third, impact. Did you minimize harm and respect privacy? Together, they separate ethical research from exploitation. These pillars guide policies in many countries and shape how prosecutors and security teams decide whether to cooperate with or pursue a researcher. But real cases push those rules to the limit, and that's where policy updates matter. Take the U.S. Department of Justice update on the CFAA. It signals prosecutors may avoid charging good-faith security researchers who follow responsible norms. That doesn't erase legal risk, but it shifts incentives toward disclosure and cooperation. Why is that important? Because security research fixes thousands of bugs before criminals find them. And because legal uncertainty can chill research when it's most needed. So policy changes ripple through the whole ecosystem. Now meet the hats. White hat hackers work with permission. Companies hire them for pen tests, red teams, and continuous testing. They follow rules of engagement and scope documents. They avoid disrupting services and protect user data. Many work through vulnerability disclosure programs and bug bounties, using standards and playbooks to report cleanly. White hats build bridges between researchers and vendors, but even they must document everything, and that's where best practices start to matter. Black hat hackers do the opposite. They break in without permission to steal data, deploy ransomware, or sell access. Their goal is profit or chaos, not repair. Historic attacks, like global ransomware outbreaks and destructive worms, show the social cost. Hospitals disrupted, supply chains halted, and billions lost. These criminals rely on secrecy and speed. Understanding their tactics helps defenders, but it also underscores why authorization matters so much. Gray hats sit in a messy middle. They might scan the internet for exposed databases, probe systems without permission, then notify the owner. Sometimes they download a sample to prove impact. Intent might be good, but legality is shaky. Gray actions can leak data, cause downtime, or trigger legal claims. The Electronic Frontier Foundation argues for clearer protections, yet unauthorized access can still land someone in court. That ambiguity fuels heated debates. Concrete examples make this tangible. Google's Project Zero gives vendors 90 days to patch before public disclosure, pressuring fixes while protecting users. By contrast, criminal reuse of known flaws led to major breaches where attackers exploited unpatched software. And the gray case, a researcher finds an exposed cloud bucket and downloads a sample to prove risk. Helpful? Maybe. Legal? Maybe not. Each case hinges on process and how the findings were handled next. Why does procedure matter so much? Because ethics isn't just outcome-based. It's about the steps you take. Documenting permission, minimizing data access, and reporting securely turn risky actions into responsible ones. That discipline protects users, researchers, and vendors. It also builds trust, which is why more organizations invite outside help instead of hoping attackers will stay away. And that leads us to why ethical hackers are now standard practice. Mid-video recap. Ethics rests on intent, consent, and impact. White, black, and gray hats differ by authorization and motive. Process changes outcomes. Now, if you run security for a company, you should ask, how do we invite researchers in and triage reports fast? Organizations use VDPs, bug bounty platforms, and red team engagements to extend their teams. These programs find real attack paths before criminals do, and they require clear rules. Start a vulnerability disclosure policy by saying what's in scope, how to report, and how you'll respond. Add safe harbor language to protect good faith researchers. Publish a security TXT or a monitored intake email. Use a triage platform to organize reports. That clarity reduces confusion and legal threats. If you reward researchers, define ranges by impact. If you don't pay, offer recognition and clear timelines. Done right, a VDP channels risk into repair. Triage fast. Acknowledge receipt, assign severity, and track remediation metrics like time to first response and time to fix. Prioritize issues that map to real attack paths, not just noisy scanner hits. Reward meaningful reports and use repeat findings to improve your development lifecycle. Measure what matters and publish results when appropriate. Quick feedback builds goodwill, while slow or silent responses drive researchers into risky disclosure choices. Laws and ethics don't always line up. The CFAA criminalizes unauthorized access. DMCA anti-circumvention rules can chill research, and data protection laws add privacy obligations. Vendor terms may forbid probing. That legal tangle means researchers should get permission and companies should publish clear programs. When both sides adopt transparent practices, legal risk drops and security improves. But getting there takes work and mutual trust. If you're a researcher, follow a simple rule. Seek explicit written permission before testing. Stay within scope, minimize access to personal data, and never retain or share sensitive information. Use secure channels for reporting and redact proofs of concept. Practice only in labs, capture the flag events, or intentionally vulnerable apps. Document your actions with timestamps. These habits keep research on the right side of both ethics and the law, and they make your reports useful. Follow an ethical hacker's playbook. Get written permission, respect scope, avoid production systems, minimize data access, and never disrupt services. Report clearly with reproduction steps and risk context. Give vendors time to fix and follow coordinated disclosure norms. Keep notes on what you tested and why. Stay professional. Security succeeds when people cooperate. These principles protect users and give vendors a chance to patch before details leak. Leaders, treat ethical hacking as part of your security investment. Publish a VDP, include safe harbor, create a monitored intake, prioritize triage, and measure time to fix. Use findings to remove root causes, not just patch symptoms. Recognize contributors and build a process that scales. A mature program reduces risk, improves trust, and saves money compared with reactive incident response. The return on a responsible program is practical and measurable. The future complicates ethics. AI speeds both discovery and attack. Automated tools can find bugs at scale, but they can also write sleeker malware. A commercial market for 0 days creates incentive mismatches. Governments and brokers buy exploits, sometimes at odds with public safety. That's why transparency, vulnerability, equities processes, and better vendor patching are vital. Ethics must evolve as tools change, and the next section covers global standards shaping that evolution. Global norms and standards give everyone a shared language. ISO disclosure norms, CSA guidance, and SBOMs push vendors towards secure by design defaults. When companies adopt these standards, researchers know how to report and vendors know how to respond. That harmonization reduces friction across borders and industries. Still, implementation lags in many places, so leaders must choose to adopt these practices proactively rather than wait for regulation. Quick glossary. Ethical hacking means authorized testing to improve security. A VDP is your public reporting process. Bug bounties add financial rewards. Pen tests simulate attacker behavior under scope. Red teams run realistic adversary exercises. Coordinated disclosure lets vendors patch before public details. 0 day means no patch exists yet. Keep these terms in your pocket. They speed conversations between researchers, lawyers, and engineering teams, and they help avoid costly misunderstandings. Actionable takeaways. Leaders, publish a clear VDP. add safe harbor, and commit to rapid triage. Researchers, get permission, redact sensitive data, and document your work. Everyone, judge hackers by intent, consent, and impact, not by stereotype. Ethical hacking is a tool for resilience when governed well. If we design ethics into products, policies, and programs, the same cleverness that builds exploits can build stronger systems instead. And that's both practical and hopeful. If this clarified the hacker spectrum, like the video, subscribe for more clear breakdowns, and tell us in the comments, which hat surprised you most?